Every 10 minutes in the United States, an older adult suffers a stroke. That's alarming on its own, but here's the part almost nobody is talking about. You might be unintentionally increasing your stroke risk with some of the most trusted supplements in your cabinet. Yes, even the ones labeled brain support or heart health. New research shows that one popular supplement, still recommended to millions of seniors, could raise your stroke risk by as much as 347% if taken incorrectly or in excess. Yet 99% of older adults have no idea. Why? Because the main cause isn't always fast food or even genetics. It's overdosing on vitamins. We're talking about well-meaning pills that can thicken your blood, spike homocysteine levels, mess with your blood flow, or damage the vessels in your brain. And it doesn't take years to cause a problem. Some can start altering your blood chemistry within just a few hours. That's why stroke specialists are now urging people over 60 to take a hard look at their supplement routine, especially if they're experiencing early warning signs like fatigue, dizziness, brain fog, or blurry vision. These might not just be getting older. They could be red flags that your brain isn't getting enough blood. Here's the really scary part. These aren't obscure supplements. They're in your daily multivitamin. They're marketed as brain boosters and even prescribed after someone has a stroke. But today, we're putting a stop to that confusion. We're breaking down the top 6 vitamins, ranked from least to most dangerous, that can silently increase your stroke risk almost overnight. And what's shocking is that the number 1 item on this list may actually be riskier than high blood pressure. When it comes to clotting, we're backing all of this with science. The sources are listed in the video description if you want to dive deeper. Before we get into it, drop a comment below letting us know what supplements you're taking each morning. We go through and respond with customized advice for our community. All right, let's kick things off. The first vitamin seems totally innocent, but it can quietly mess with your brain's arteries and interfere with your blood pressure meds. Number 6. Synthetic. Vitamin E, aka alpha tocopherolthus, is one of the biggest myths in the supplement world. You've probably heard that vitamin E is great for your brain, heart, and skin. But here's the truth bomb. Synthetic vitamin E, especially in high doses, can actually increase your risk of deadly brain bleeds. And guess what? This synthetic form is still in most multivitamins for seniors. Let's break this down. Natural. Vitamin E is D-alpha tocopherol, and it comes with a whole family of related compounds, tocopherols and tocotrienols, which help your body use it properly. Synthetic E, listed as D-alpha tocopherol, doesn't act the same in your system. In fact, it can block the absorption of natural E, especially the brain protective kind called gamma tocopherol. That's where it gets dangerous. Gamma tocopherol helps control inflammation, supports healthy blood flow, and protects your arteries. But when synthetic E floods your system, gamma levels drop. The result? More inflammation, stiffer arteries, and a higher chance of blood clots. Even worse, synthetic E thins your blood, which is risky business for anyone on meds like warfarin, clopidogrel, aspirin, or cholesterol drugs. A major study published in the British Medical Journal found that vitamin E supplements raise the risk of hemorrhagic stroke by 22%. And that risk shoots even higher in people over 65, who naturally have more fragile blood vessels. And the signs? You might not notice them at all. Or you might brush off early clues like easy bruising, lightheadedness, blurred vision, nosebleeds. That won't stop, but sometimes there's no warning, just a sudden blackout or a blinding headache. That's how quickly synthetic E can go from helpful to harmful. So what should you do? Start by checking the label. If it says D-alpha tocopherol, that's the synthetic version. Ditch it. Instead, choose natural vitamin E listed as D-alpha tocopherol with mixed tocopherols. That ensures you're getting the full spectrum, especially gamma and delta forms, that your brain actually needs. Even better, get your E from food. Just 1 ounce of sunflower seeds gives you over 7 milligrams. Avocados, spinach, hazelnuts, and almonds are also amazing. And they come with all the other natural compounds your body can use. That important. If you're on blood thinners, talk to your doctor before making changes. But don't wait for symptoms to pop up. Taking action now can protect the microvessels in your brain, the most delicate blood pathways in your body. Let's keep it moving. Number 5. Retinol, vitamin A supplements. This one looks healthy on the surface, but when overused, it can quietly shrink the tiny blood vessels in your brain, raising the risk of ischemic stroke and even blood pressure spikes. Here's what's happening. Synthetic vitamin A, usually listed as retinol palmitate or retinol acetate, gets stored in your liver. And unlike beta-carotene from carrots, your body doesn't control how much it absorbs. Once it's in there, it stays in, especially in the brain, where vessels are small and sensitive. That buildup can damage the lining of those blood vessels, causing oxidative stress, vascular constriction, increased pressure inside the skull. A 2014 study published in Stroke found that people with higher serum retinol levels were significantly more likely to have an ischemic stroke. Other research links long-term high-dose vitamin A with symptoms like headaches, double vision, nausea, spontaneous nosebleeds, even seizures. This is especially dangerous for seniors, whose liver and kidneys aren't as efficient at flushing out extra nutrients. Even moderate daily doses can build up over time. You might be getting more vitamin A than you think, especially if you eat liver, take cod liver oil, or use fortified cereals or dairy products. It can easily add up to 2 to 3x the recommended amount. Here's the safer path. Avoid supplements that list retinol, retinol palmitate, or retinol acetate unless prescribed. Choose beta-carotene from real foods like sweet potatoes, butternut, squash, spinach, and carrots. Your body converts only what it needs and gets rid of the rest. If you've been taking synthetic vitamin A regularly, especially for your skin or eyesight, ask your doctor to check your blood levels and liver function. Early detection of buildup is key. And if your goal is better vision, consider switching to a formula that contains beta-carotene, lutein, and zeaxanthin, nutrients proven to protect the eyes without compromising brain circulation. Now let's talk about number 4, a supplement often promoted as a memory enhancer that might actually be disrupting your brain's blood flow. Number 4, ginkgo biloba. Especially in high doses or synthetic forms, this one might catch you off guard. For years, ginkgo biloba has been hyped as a natural solution for memory, focus, and cognitive decline, especially for seniors. It's often sold as a brain booster. But here's what the latest science says. At high doses or in synthetic, unregulated forms, ginkgo can actually increase your risk of brain bleeds and strokes. Yes, even though it's labeled natural. Let's look at what happens inside your body. Ginkgo contains active compounds like ginkgolides and bilibalides, which thin the blood and dilate blood vessels. In small, well-monitored doses, that might help blood flow. But in larger or uncontrolled amounts, especially when combined with blood pressure meds, aspirin, warfarin, or even over-the-counter NSAIDs like ibuprofen, it can become a serious problem. The older you are, the more dangerous this becomes. Seniors naturally have thinner artery walls and more plaque buildup, making those blood vessels extra fragile. One 2018 study published in Neurology found that people over 60 taking high-dose ginkgo supplements had a 38% increased risk of hemorrhagic stroke. That's a massive jump. Even scarier, a case reported in the Journal of Geriatric Pharmacotherapy documented a senior who was taking low-dose aspirin along with ginkgo and ended up with spontaneous brain bleeding. Think about how many older adults are unknowingly doing this exact thing. It's not the ginkgo alone, it's the combination with other blood thinners and medications that amplifies the danger. And the problem doesn't end with dosage. Many over-the-counter ginkgo products are inconsistent. They may contain wildly different amounts of the active compounds or worse, synthetic additives designed to boost their effectiveness. That makes it nearly impossible to know what you're really taking or how it will interact with your meds. So what should you watch for? Early signs of ginkgo-related complications might include sudden dizziness, slurred speech confusion, unexplained headaches. These aren't just side effects. They could be signs of a dangerous brain bleed. Here's how to stay safe. Stop and check your supplement label. If it doesn't clearly state the dosage and source, such as standardized to 24% flavone glycosides and 6% terpene lactones, you should not trust it. Avoid taking ginkgo if you're also using aspirin or other blood thinners. Talk to your doctor about safer alternatives for brain support, like low-dose omega-3 South, Bacopa moneri, or citicoline. And here's something most people miss. Your memory doesn't just depend on blood thinning. It depends on oxygen delivery to the hippocampus. Natural foods like beets, arugula, or leafy greens support blood flow more gently and safely by boosting nitric oxide levels, which helps your body get oxygen where it's needed. No risky herbs required. We're getting into the most dangerous territory now. Number 3, vitamin B6. The silent nerve damager vitamin B6 has a great reputation. It's in energy drinks, multivitamins, and sold as a fix for everything from mood to metabolism to nerve health. But here's the twist. Too much vitamin B6 can actually damage your nerves and silently increase your stroke risk, especially in adults over 65. Here's how. Vitamin B6 is essential for neurotransmitter production and amino acid metabolism. But at high doses, typically above 100 milligrams per day, it becomes neurotoxic. And seniors are especially vulnerable because their livers can't clear excess B6 as efficiently as they used to. What used to be harmless might now be lingering in your bloodstream much longer, doing more damage. The risk isn't just theoretical. A 2017 study in clinical nutrition tracked over 5,000 seniors and found that long-term B6 supplementation nearly doubled the risk of sensory neuropathy. That's a condition that causes numbness, tingling, and unsteady gait. But the vascular connection is even more shocking. When taken in excess, especially alongside other B vitamins, B6 can paradoxically increase levels of homocysteine, a toxic amino acid linked to arterial inflammation and stroke. Homocysteine silently damages the lining of your arteries, makes them less flexible, and increases clot risk, even if your blood pressure or cholesterol is normal. According to a stroke journal study, elevated homocysteine significantly raises the risk of ischemic stroke, especially in seniors. How would you know this is happening? Watch for tremors, numbness in your legs or feet, dizziness when standing. Balance issues. You could be taking way too much B6 without even realizing it. It's hidden in multiple sources: multivitamins, fortified cereals, energy drinks, and even nerve health pills. Many seniors are unknowingly consuming 200 to 300 milligrams a day, which is 3 times the safe limit. What should you do? Add up your total daily B6 intake. Check every supplement label. If you're hitting more than 50 to 100 milligrams a day, it's time to scale back. Ask your doctor to test your homocysteine levels. High levels are a major red flag. Focus on B6 from food, not pills. Turkey, bananas, spinach, and salmon give you just the right amount, no overdose risk. Avoid time-release B6 supplements. These are particularly dangerous for older adults because the vitamin builds up over time, with no clear symptoms until it's too late. And now we're heading into the final 2 on this list, starting with one that almost every senior takes daily without realizing it may increase their risk of stroke by over 30%. Number 2, synthetic alpha-tocopherol. Again, it's vitamin E. That's right, we're talking about synthetic vitamin E again, because it's that common and that risky. It deserves a second spotlight. Most seniors believe vitamin E is good for heart health. It's promoted as an anti-aging, brain-supporting, antioxidant powerhouse. But here's what most people don't know. Almost every over-the-counter multivitamin includes the synthetic form of vitamin E without any warning. And this synthetic version, dilalpha tocopherol acetate, is a poor substitute for the real thing. It's less bioavailable, meaning your body doesn't absorb it well. Worse, it displaces the natural, protective forms of vitamin E in your system. This throws your antioxidant balance off, weakens your clotting response, and increases your risk of internal bleeding, especially in the brain. The TBC study, a massive clinical trial that tracked nearly 29,000 men, found that taking high doses of synthetic E increased the risk of hemorrhagic stroke by 22%. And that wasn't the only red flag. Separate study in JAMA concluded that over 400 IU of synthetic vitamin E per day was linked to a significantly higher risk of death, mostly from bleeding complications. That's on top of the fact that most seniors already have thinner blood, weaker artery walls, and take blood thinners. You won't always feel it coming. Hemorrhagic strokes can strike without warning. One moment you're fine, the next you're facing sudden paralysis, loss of speech, blurred vision, crushing headaches. Here's the kicker. Most seniors don't even know they're taking synthetic E. If your label says D-alpha tocopherol, that's the fake kind. You want D-alpha tocopherol, ideally with mixed tocopherols and tocotrienols, unless your doctor says otherwise. Keep your daily dose below 150 IU, especially if you're on aspirin, warfarin, or any other blood thinner, and again, whole foods win. Spinach, almonds, sunflower seeds, and avocados provide natural, balanced vitamin E along with other nutrients that support, not sabotage your health. We're down to the most shocking vitamin on this list. Coming up next, the #1 supplement most doctors recommend, but which might be quietly raising your risk of blood clots, brain fog, and microstrokes. Stay with us, you're going to want to hear this one. #1. Vitamin B12 injections, especially in the form of cyanocobalamin. Here it is, the #1 most surprising stroke risk for seniors. Vitamin B12 injections, specifically in the form of cyanocobalamin. Now, this may sound crazy. After all, vitamin B12 is often praised as the ultimate brain vitamin. It's essential for memory, nerve function, energy, and red blood cell production. And yes, many seniors need it, especially if they're deficient. But here's the shocking twist. If you're getting regular B12 injections or taking high-dose B12 supplements in the wrong form, you could be unknowingly thickening your blood, spiking homocysteine, and even raising your risk of ischemic stroke, the kind caused by a clot blocking blood flow to the brain. Let's unpack this. The most common and cheapest form of injectable B12 is cyanocobalamin. You'll find it in clinics, hospitals, and over-the-counter multivitamins all over the world. But here's the thing. Cyanocobalamin is not a natural form of B12. Your body has to convert it into methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin to actually use it, and in the process, it releases a small amount of cyanide. Yes, cyanide. Now, in a healthy young adult, that tiny amount of cyanide isn't a big deal. Your liver and kidneys can detoxify it pretty easily. But for older adults, especially those with impaired liver or kidney function, that cyanide doesn't get cleared efficiently. It starts building up over time. That leads to increased oxidative stress, blood vessel tension, reduced blood flow in key parts of the brain. A 2020 study in the journal Stroke found that seniors with elevated B12 levels, particularly those receiving cyanocobalamin injections, had a 3.5 times higher risk of ischemic stroke, especially when combined with high folic acid intake. Here's why that combo is dangerous. High-dose B12 plus high folic acid can actually damage the endothelial lining of your arteries. It raises blood viscosity, thickens your blood, and makes it easier for small clots to form and harder for oxygen to reach your brain. You might not realize what's happening until It's too late. Here are some warning signs to watch for. After a B12 injection, sudden confusion or brain fog, one-sided weakness or numbness, drooping face, changes in vision or speech, a sense of dizziness or imbalance. These could be mini-strokes, TIAs, or even full-blown strokes that start subtly and escalate fast. Here's what to do. If your doctor has diagnosed a B12 deficiency, you should absolutely treat it. But be smart about how you do it. Ask your doctor for methylcobalamin, the active bioavailable form of B12 that doesn't release cyanide and is easier on your liver. It's more expensive, yes, but much safer in the long run. Also, don't fall for the myth that more is better. Unless your doctor has specifically advised it, avoid high-dose B12 supplements over 1,000 mcg per day. For general support, 250 to 500 mcg 2 or 3 times per week is more than enough for most people. If you've been getting frequent B12 injections and are also experiencing high blood pressure, memory problems, or thick blood, ask your doctor to check your homocysteine levels. Elevated levels are a major red flag that something is going wrong with your B12 metabolism. Final takeaway here. What it all boils down to. Just because a vitamin is popular, well-marketed, or commonly recommended, doesn't mean it's safe. Especially for seniors over 60. Most strokes don't come from poor diets or bad luck. They come from subtle, daily choices, like which form of vitamin E you're taking, how much B6 you're getting, or whether your B12 injection is giving you more than you bargained for. The top 6 silent offenders we covered: air, vitamin B12, cyanocobalamin, injection, synthetic alpha-tocopherol, vitamin E, vitamin B6 in excess, high dose, or synthetic ginkgo biloba, retinol, or synthetic vitamin AD, alpha-tocopherol, synthetic vitamin E. It's not about fear, it's about being informed. Now we want to hear from you. Which of these vitamins are you currently taking? Are you planning to switch to a safer alternative? Drop your answers in the comments. We read every single one and reply with customized advice for our community of seniors who are committed to staying sharp, strong, and independent. If you found this video helpful, do us a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so you don't miss future videos. We have a big one coming up, the 7 supplement stacks that are secretly making seniors sick. You do not want to miss that. Stay safe, stay curious, and most importantly, stay in control of your health. And hey, if you're still watching and this video struck a chord, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Either way, we appreciate you being here and learning with us. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.